So Kaleena did an interview with Breakbeat Media. Shout out to them, okay? Because I don't believe anybody else has talked to Kaleena. Before we get into the portion I'm going to play, I want to talk about what was talked about at the beginning of this interview because it's important. Kaleena comes from a family of rapists. Sounds like her uncles were assaulting like children. She literally describes one of her uncles assaulting a 3-year-old and how her mom told her that story. They were all still living in the same house. Almost sounds as if the women in the household were involved. Like she was like they prayed over her. They prayed over the little girl after it happened, or reprimanded the little girl. Whatever happened, because y'all can go and watch it, right? Y'all can go and watch the full interview if y'all want to. When I was talking about Sin and Cisco, I was talking about how he trauma bonded with her and then acted like he was her friend, acted as if he was going to make this song with her because her brother had passed away. And so he trauma bonded with her about that. And then when she didn't want to have sex with him, he withdrew the song from her and gave it to somebody else. So that's what I mean by using their being a producer and then befriending women, acting like trauma bonding with them. Also, you can try to fuck them. That's what I meant when I was talking about Cisco and Sin. That was the same thing that Metro Boomin did with this woman. I didn't say he assaulted anybody, okay? I'm just saying he was using the same tactics in order to get coochie out of this woman, trauma bonding and using his job as a producer. That's what I mean, just to be clear. All right? Now let's get into this. Like I said, Kaleena comes from a household of abuse. So she's going to contradict herself and go back and forth a lot, which is why I wanted to play this half. Okay.
How bad did the fighting get?
It got bad. I was fucking him up. He was fucking me up. Like I would hit him in the head with mugs, coffee mugs, and like, make his head bleed and shit and fucking.
Now, right now, she's talking about her husband, Tony Anthony. Okay. We saw them on Love and Hip Hop together. He the one that told her that nobody cared about her music anymore. Remember? And she was sleeping with her friend Ashley, who seemingly was like somebody they may have fucked together at some point. So Kaleena has already told us that she's done freak offs. I guess she forgot about it. But Kaleena has already discussed what her life was like, which is probably why her children weren't in the house with her. She's also talked about she doesn't have her children because she gave them to her mother, who was also abusive, and now her mother won't give the children back.
And he needs stitches to be fucked up.
Yeah.
Now he didn't fuck me up that bad. You know what I'm saying? But it would be more of me like trying to not be weak. And then I would just I had the anger issue more than him. I did. I just want to take accountability. I don't think a lot of women do, but I did. I had more of the like.
She will say over and over again that women don't take accountability while blaming herself for her own abuse. Girl.
Thing to prove to other people, like I'm not like these other bitches, and like he ain't gonna be running over me. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of hurt just in general. I couldn't believe that after all I had told him that he still did what he did, but the psychology behind that is he's still a human too, and he was just learning how not to do the things that he was used to doing. And I just didn't see it that way. I just was working out of trauma and what I've been taught. I've been taught to fight back and fight.
At the height of your career, what did your bank account look like?
I was a millionaire. Easy. I was a millionaire.
And what was the average day like for you?
Just chill, lay around, kick it, get up and say, what are we going to do today? Call all our friends over, take care of everything they had going on, and like just whatever.
Do you think you did the right things with your money?
No, I didn't the first time. I didn't. I think I did what everybody does the first time. Because of our culture and where we come from, ain't nobody teaching us about financial literacy. Nobody's teaching us how to spend our money. Nobody's teaching us how to save our money. And nobody's teaching us how to pick friends. And so that looks like you want to prove to your people you're a real motherfucker. You're not going to forget about them. And so you want to take care of everybody with you. You do. I took 30 people with me on tour. 30 people, and I was picking up random people at the same time. So that meant cars I was renting. I still had condos that my children were living in, and I wasn't even there. I was just spending liquid, and because I knew nothing about credit. I was afraid of credit, like most Black people are. We're afraid of credit. Like you say, spend credit, get plastic, and it's like, oh no, I ain't never own my credit, because that's how you get you caught up. But that's the way. And so I was spending a lot of liquid, but I lived off that money for years until it was no money to live.
I don't think she's sober either. I just want to say that nobody in the comments thinks that she's sober. I literally sent this to OLFP like she's tweaking because she looks like she's tweaking.
Off of, right? Because it's not about what money you have coming in. Going out is about what money you have going in. And at the time, I can't tell you what happened. Like, shit stopped. It stopped after dirty money. Kind of felt like I was blocked a little bit, but not blackballed, but just a little blocked.
By who?
Mind you, she talks about how people warned her about Diddy. People told her that Diddy will blackball you and fuck up your career. She spends most of this interview praising Diddy and saying that that's not what she saw of him. She also explains what I think is grooming. I'm going to let her continue, but I just, because I can't remember what was said before or after as it pertains to some things, but I want y'all to know that she specifically talked about how people warned her against Diddy, and now she's saying she never saw that side of him.
I don't know.
But you're telling us you were blackballed. Something happened, bitch.
Some say Puff. Some say other people.
What would you say?
I don't fucking know. I'm not blocked now, so I don't fucking know. Get to the bag, nigga. I don't know. But I think that time kind of like fixes everything. I mean, who's to say? I think we block shit ourselves. Like, I think we get into mental spaces where we want to blame it on other people, but it was just a nasty place me and Tony were in. It was a nasty place I was in. It was a nasty place to not have the support from my family and the love. I was flying my brothers and sisters out and spending thousands of dollars on birthdays.
What's your relationship like? What's your relationship like with Dawn?
I don't fuck with Dawn like that. I mean, I do, like as a person, like as a individual, like my heart. But she never was like sisterly. She never was like somebody who I could say wanted to take care of me. So as much as I tried, she would let me in. And maybe that was because of Danny DeCane. I don't fucking know. I don't know those girls like that. I know D Woods in passing. I know Chanel from the studio.
It was because she did not trust you, because she could probably see how male identified you were.
They were always cool in passing, but I don't know the dynamics of that shit enough to be able to tell you like where it came from. But it was like weird shit happening while we were in a group. Like, even if I would just ask her, like, rehearse. Let's rehearse, nigga, just AMAs. You know what I'm saying? And she would like laugh at me and keep it moving. Yeah, it would be weird shit like that. And I would be like,
Okay, so I just want to clock this moment. A lot of people have tried to invalidate what happened to Cassie by saying she was laughing at Kim Porter. As if there's a moment where everybody saw Kim getting her ass beat by Diddy and Cassie's on the side laughing. That never happened. But because of the way people decide they want to look at people, you want to look at Cassie a certain way, as some girl who thought she was above it, while you knew that she wasn't. You were probably a little jealous. It's absolutely giving, I want to find fault in this woman because I am jealous of her.
Like, I don't know. I think we all have like different executive functions. And when you come into this business, the first thing you got to be thinking is like, if somebody's going to fly me out of town, I need to eat. So then it's a per diem. Or if you're a writer like me and you work in a studio and you're working on a budget, you automatically know that there's a food budget. But she just was like, she didn't know these things. So I would come to the studio and be like, where's the food budget? Where we eating tonight? And it was like, food budget. Like, yeah, there's a food budget. It's a tab. We're running it up. Or like, I'm finna go get my per diem. Like, he got us in New York and we live in LA. If you have me in New York and I live in LA and we're working in LA, but we're in New York for a short amount of time, I need per diem so I can live. And so I was having those conversations, and Dawn didn't even know what per diem was. So I pay homage to my husband for being a real nigga. Excuse my language. We were just talking about. Like, she wasn't like my sister. That's what I expected her to be. Like I really wanted us to be like a family, but wishful thinking.
But what?
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. I always want sisters. I always want brothers. Like I love family. I want to be people's family. Like I love everybody. So like I just want to. I think it's
I would never trust Kaleena. She talking about she want family. I would never trust Kaleena. If I was Dawn, I would have never trusted her because, bitch, you the type to get me caught up. You the type to, what happened, girl? And then I tell you what happened and you go back and tell that nigga what I told you and now I'm getting my ass beat again because I told you what he did.
The part of me that want to be accepted is trauma. Yeah, and I just want people to like me. It's the thing.
You got named quite a few times in Dawn's lawsuit. I'm assuming there wasn't a conversation beforehand.
No.
What was it like finding that out when you woke up?
I was angry. I was pissed. You know, I'm feeding my frogs, dude. Like, you know, I'm working on my project. I'm at the end of it. And I'm just like waiting on my time. And I'm like just talking to God and like learning his voice. And then all of a sudden it's like a rip shot. Cause Dawn knows me. And she know that all she ever had to do if something was going on was to say something. And
what were you gonna do, Kaleena?
Like Donkey Kong, like the fuck we talking about?
No, you wasn't.
You would jump that nigga.
No, you wouldn't have.
Get the fuck out of there. Or whatever. But that wasn't the case.
Girl, are you fucking for real? This interview pissed me off because you really gonna sit up there and act like if she would have told you that Diddy was touching her or doing something to her, you who also work for Diddy, you who also worship this man because you felt like he was changing your life, you wasn't gonna do a motherfucking thing. And Dawn had already been there before you, so she already knew how this shit worked. No, bitch, it's business. I'm here because I'm probably indentured servitude in some type of way.
She never, to be honest with you, though me and Puff garnered a closer relationship, going into it, Dawn and Puff were closer.
Yeah.
They had rapport.
They knew each other already.
So Puff can be mama a little bit, like little fucking catty. So I just always thought
triangulation between y'all.
For his protection, possibly he could have been like just keeping distance between everybody. That's the thing, right? And
his protection.
It's a control thing as well. So I just thought maybe it could be that. But I think more than anything, it was more like it was literal competition though. Like she literally looked at me like a threat. Yeah. And like I possibly could have been getting more than her because I had my husband and different things, but that wasn't the case. It was just the way I negotiated my deal. And I was already good. I was already good from publishing deal. I was already good from other things that were happening in my life. So I think she just possibly thought Puff gave me more than her and she just didn't have that, but that wasn't.
So you think that Dawn was jealous of you?
What do you make of the ingredients in her lawsuit?
I think it's, I don't want to say bullshit, but I think maybe, I think maybe Dawn is, I don't know. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and shame the devil, but I will say broke motherfuckers they would do anything for money. And I just want what she's saying to be the truth.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and I told y'all before, like Dawn is from New Orleans. And I've been around Dawn in recent years. We don't know each other, but we have been around each other. Dawn is not broke like that. I don't know that lady money, but I see her out. I see her perform. I see her mass Indian with my uncle. I've seen her around. It's not giving, I'm so broke I can't take care of myself. That's not what it's giving. In my opinion. Kaleena, if anybody is giving broke and in a dark house, thinking somebody give a fuck about the creative, but probably being fed drugs by their husband, it's you.
Because I'm confused. And if it's the truth, why wait so long to say anything?
What do you mean, why wait so long? See, this is what I'm talking about. This girl literally tells the story about how people in her family are allowing the uncles to be molesters to the kids. And she's actually asking, why would you wait so long to say something? I don't know. Maybe because I was scared of the nigga. I don't know.
I don't know, guys. Like, nobody's fucking with me at that capacity, and I don't say shit. Everybody's gonna know it. I'm gonna be locked up, 766, 911 call, police fucking locked up, crazy, all that. Nobody's doing shit like that to me. And at some level, I didn't be like.
Is it fair to say maybe your upbringing, maybe who you are, you have that exterior where you ain't doing that to me? You get what I'm saying? For everybody, it's not that.
It's not. And it could have possibly been that. But I think being in a group with somebody, it makes it very intimate. We were naked together a lot. We were getting dressed in places. We woke up in the same places. We were sleepy in the same places. We were hungry in the same places.
And you don't know what's going
Our
on.
underarms stunk in the same places. And so when you're that intimate, it's kind of hard to.
Let's break that down right quick. What she just said, because I like to listen to the words that people say and actually digest them. She said, we woke up in the same places. We went to sleep in the same places. We were naked a lot together. And what was that last part? She said our underarms stunk in a lot of the same places. So please remember that Dawn said that Diddy worked them for hours and hours and hours. He worked them, would not let them stop. Okay, so even just the work that they were doing in the group was abusive. That's what Dawn has said. You're literally telling us you were right there for all of that, but you didn't see it?
To miss.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's suffering or something's going on like that, it's really hard to miss.
If somebody's suffering, it's really hard to miss. Is that right?
Love her to death, naive, like getting high. She likes getting partying. High. She liked that. Was the thing. She's a model.
That is her way of invalidating Cassie's experience. She's a model. She likes to get high. She liked the party. She was young. She was naive. Later, she'll tell a story about being groomed and assaulted by somebody when she was 16, 17, not understanding that Diddy had done the same thing to Cassie because Cassie was 19. Okay.
She was well taken care of. She was
well taken care of. You're a hater. A lot of y'all
told me a story about going to an apartment one time.
Mad
which one? The fucking one that looked like a closet? That all white fucking condo in New York?
Listen.
That's just glass with glass stairs escalating up the fucking 70-foot ceiling, 100-foot ceiling. Wild shit. Spoiled. So I'm not saying Cassie is not deserving of any of these things, but this was her life. And so I was okay. I was like, middle class, okay. She was like, rich girl, I want to go hang out with my friend for the weekend in fucking Tahiti, okay. And just lay up and get sun, okay.
You asked her how much she was making?
Yeah, I just wanted to know where her allowance was because she had an allowance. And I wanted to know
why.
If she was being smart with her money and she was being smart with the opportunity. Because the first thing I think is like, what would I do in that position? I don't know. I would own homes. I would have owned businesses. I would have been giving other people opportunities. I wouldn't have been waiting for Puff to do my project. I would have been doing my own project. I just would have had a lot more. Like, nigga, you gonna do this shit for me because I would have done it for myself. And
so you think that the young, spoiled, naive girl who was 19 coming into this was supposed to be more of a grown woman about the way she handled it because that's how you would have handled it, right? Completely ignoring the fact that Diddy is the person that has the power in this dynamic to the point that you just told us you got blackballed, bitch. What are you talking about? How is she supposed to take what he's given her and do all of this with it and you couldn't do nothing with it? You were given some of the same opportunities. You said you was a millionaire. Can you explain to us why you're not anymore? Very weird. The way the mind works. You will literally be put in the exact same situation as this girl and find a way to make her out to in some way be dumb or deserving of the mistreatment, right? Even though you're literally explaining that she went through the same thing that you went through.
So when I asked how much she was making, it was like close to $30,000, almost $50,000 a week. That's a lot of money. Even on the low end, when you say $10,000 a week, that's a lot of money for somebody to just, here you go. You can just blow that. And then cars for your family, and then flights for your family, and then all that stuff. I'm just saying. And I'm just allegedly talking, right? Because who knows what she was really getting. Because we don't know. But what I will say is, if in fact that's what Cassie was getting, and that's what she was privy to, I think I would have been trying to strive to show my husband that I was queenly enough to be
Because you're a
entitled to take
pick-me.
care of his billions and millions of dollars and
Because
possibly his
you're a
children
pick-me.
and be the
Trying
queen of
to
that
prove
empire.
something
But
to
I
the
didn't see
nigga.
that per se. I just saw like Cassie having a good time.
So because Cassie wasn't being a big enough pick-me for you, even though you were literally saying she was giving lap dances to everybody, she's doing all of this other shit. We know that Cassie cut off the side of her fucking hair because Diddy told her to. And you sitting up here mad because she isn't queenly enough to have power over a nigga who got power over all of y'all. Like, she sounds crazy because she keeps talking about what I would have done, what I would have done. Ma'am, you were in the situation. You're broke now. You look drugged out. Nobody's been paying attention to your music for years. You're not even on Love and Hip Hop anymore, Kaleena. What are you talking about? You were blackballed. Whatever he did it to you. Are you not seeing that?
As a young girl and really didn't want the bothers of like that life until later. And this is probably when I was pregnant with Noah. I don't mean to cut you off, but being pregnant with Noah, and I have pictures online. I went and seen Puff perform in Atlanta. I was pregnant, really pregnant with Savannah, not Noah, Savannah. And I was about to have my baby girl, and I remember walking in like backstage and walking in the bathroom, and I'm like, see her and Jessica White, and they're all sitting on the counters in the bathroom. And Cassie looks at me and she's like, see, that's what I want. And I hope I'm like that. I hope I look as sexy as you, like that. And the last conversation me and Cassie had was basically like, I seen this woman that was coming out and I was like, I'm done with the shit and I'm ready for it. Like, and I was like, okay. So that was my last, and that had been years. Do you think I was with Puff in 2009 to 2012, 11, 12. And so I had Savannah in 2016. Cassie had grown immensely. Now, I wasn't around in that time. So what transpired in the time between Dirty Money ending and me seeing them again, I fucking don't know. So anything could have transpired. But I will say is, I saw Cassie grow up from a little girl that was willing to like give everybody motherfucking, lap dances basically.
A little girl, baby.
And get drunk and just have a good like model time. She was a sweetheart though. But seeing her do like just have a good time as a young girl and then turn into like, no, this is what I want. But she had watched me and she had watched so many other women. So I see that, the power. But I didn't see how she was being kept somewhere she didn't want to be. I didn't see that. Did I see the videotape like everybody else? Yes. Yes. But did I see that ever, like in person? Fuck
where
no.
they don't want to
Like, that's just, it's private and then it's business. You didn't see us on the tape. We were in the hotel. That was a private thing. Like they had like a private hotel that they would go and stay at. Private places. They would go on private trips because it's a private thing. And me and my husband do a private thing. So I didn't see.
That doesn't mean
I
it
didn't
didn't happen
see
'cause
that
you didn't see
dichotomy
it.
while I was there. It was just like, I'm really business too. I
But
think
she's
that
lying.
changes how
You're
people
really
deal with me.
business, but y'all were
I'll come in
partying.
and I'm work and that's it. And everything's separate from me. So
You didn't keep everything
But I love
separate. You're
Cassie.
lying. You were at the parties. You and your
The abuse,
husband.
you
Stop.
never noticed maybe any scars, any bruising, or maybe she come to you, confide in you, hey, like, just stuff like that.
I think normal shit.
Yeah.
Like, I
Normal
mean, what one girl don't be like, I fucking hate this. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looked all normal to me. And at that time, I'm just telling you that I was going through my own trauma. I was fighting my husband and like, we were doing weird shit. We were trying to grow out of in love.
So at the same time as Cassie is getting her ass beat by Diddy, you getting your ass beat by Tony. Mind you, at the beginning of this interview, she talks about her husband is so great. It's so amazing. Girl, you're brainwashed. You have Stockholm syndrome. That nigga was beating your ass, probably still beating your ass. They are still married. They are still together, even though they don't have custody of their children. And Cassie, who's even younger than you, was in a situation with a man even more powerful than your man. And you're somehow expecting her to what? Be queenly. Y'all are both getting y'all ass beat at the same time, but somehow you're able to see her like a little girl that grew to be a woman and you would have done it differently. Girl, what? Literally doing the same shit, getting your ass beat by a nigga. And telling us that that's normal.
learn how to navigate being in front of the camera and not show people we were doing that. It's just a lot. We were like manager and fucking artist, trying to remember that we were husband and wife. So
No, she
I didn't
doesn't
have a lot of space in my head for that kind of rent.
That in a
I
minute.
just didn't have like space in my head for somebody to sit and talk to me about them being abused when I felt like I needed my nigga to treat me better.
Okay, so then that makes me feel like the times that you did see Cassie getting her ass beat, you will then tell yourself, well, at least you got this, at least you got that. I'm getting my ass beat, and this nigga ain't even got as much as Puff got. I would love to be getting my ass beat by Puff, because then I would be able to stay in the nice apartment. I would be able to have the $30,000 to $50,000 a week and all of that. Kaleena, you telling on yourself. You are literally telling us that you did see abuse, but because you were being abused and because you were jealous of how much money she was getting, you couldn't give a fuck. So don't get up here now and tell us you didn't see it.
Or maybe I wasn't being the best wife.
Maybe I wasn't being the best wife. That's why he was cheating on me, having babies on me, and
not to stay on her too long. What do you make of her whole suit and the money that she
look? I'm proud of anybody who speaks up and stands up for themselves. Yeah. But I feel like I wish I could have heard the whole truth of her side. I wish they would have talked about all of the beautiful moments that she had with Puff too. I think it's like the pebble in the shoe concept. This one situation is exacerbated, but if I'm not mistaken, I seen her with Puff after Kim died. Wasn't she with that other guy already? I think she had left, right? She was like in a whole nother relationship with the trainer that Puff paid for. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like I was shocked, to say the least.
When she comes out to talk about her abuse, you want her to talk more about the good times that she had with Puffy? Why? I'm talking about my abuse. And now you're trying to do that whole thing where y'all make it seem like, oh, Cassie was cheating on Diddy. You can't cheat on a nigga that got.
I just didn't think she had.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Hold up, y'all. My sign, I can't hear now. Hold up.
And I didn't think that she would. Good for her, is what I'm saying. It's being a hero for her children, her husband, and her everything. Really, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Good for her. If standing on her truth is that, I necessarily wouldn't have handled it that way.
Obviously.
Unless the motherfucker was really a monster and y'all would have known it off top.
Girl, please.
Right. I look at the industry.
You would have known it off top. Obviously
Hollywood
not.
is like, it's like the worst drug that they have on the table.
So,
right?
So
if you look at the cocaine or whatever, fentanyl even.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing now, right? Ketamine, like weird shit, right?
Horse tranquilizer.
Crazy names, zombie shit.
You look at that. You look at the plate of drugs.
Special K is not new, y'all. Special K is not new. Cut it the fuck out. Don't do that. Don't act like it's something new going on out here. Ain't nothing new.
And it's like Hollywood is probably like the worst thing you could probably do. What's some of the worst things you've seen in Hollywood?
I've seen my friends go from like sweetest tomboy, sing on the spot, creative people to like drunk, drug using,
talking about
oversexed.
Talking about yourself.
What do you mean by oversexed?
Oversexed, like you're told that sex sells. You're taught pussy and dick in the industry. Right. That's how they teach you from a child. If you get in this industry as a child, they teach you that sex sells. That's a big one. And when you tell somebody that, they start then playing with ideas of how they look, how they can manipulate people with how they look, how I can keep the truth hidden with how I look. Sex is not just dick and pussy like we think. Sex is a whole experience. And I think learning to work that magic in Hollywood becomes not just addicted in itself, but it's like imposter syndrome. So I've seen my friends go from like their true selves to like the Halloween version of themselves.
Right.
LA will do it to you. It's a psychedelic place.
Man.
with no clubs for real. Like everything closes early. It's wild.
What's going on at the after party? Speaking of the after party,
I don't fucking know. Don't talk about no baby oil, man. Like I still use baby oil. Y'all need to get into it. Like yo, but it's a good thing. It is. It's great. I love it. They did though. So they basically denied post bail because he called me 56 times.
Okay, y'all see how they cut that, right? Because essentially, it's a great thing, ma'am. You absolutely are probably on tapes. I bet any money that like she probably has been involved in those things. And I'm gonna just say this is what I feel. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I feel. I feel like she was probably abused by him in the same ways that a lot of these other people were, but she sees the drugging as a kindness. She sees the I can't feel it as a kindness. That's low key what I felt from what she was just saying about that body oil. I still use baby oil. Joking about it, no. That's because it probably was the one thing that allowed you to physically disassociate from what was being done to your body at some point.
So I feel really bad because I feel like, but my nigga called me. I would get in fucking court and stand up for my nigga if I need to, because it would be no different if it was you and me. I don't know. I think we're close enough right now. Like you're really my friend. So nigga, like I'll be calling Kristen and be like, yo, the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? Like again, we gonna go back and forth. Like yeah, read that shit and call me back, nigga. And you're gonna read it and you're gonna call me back and you're gonna be like, we're gonna do that. And it's like, what you think? Because now we're doing recall. And so that's not tampering. That's fucking recall because that bitch
No, it's tampering because y'all are now talking about the case and deciding to get your story straight. If y'all have to talk about what actually happened, if he has to call you 53 times, bitch, that means that he's trying to make sure that you're going to say what he wants you to say. There would be no reason for y'all to talk that many times in one day. She's now blaming herself for how much he called her. Do you know how crazy that is for her to blame herself? She literally, let me rewind it.
No, don't talk about no baby oil, man. Like I still use baby oil. Y'all need to get into it. Like yo, it's a good thing. It is. It's great. I love it. They did though. So they basically denied post bail because he called me 56 times. So I feel really bad because I feel like, but my nigga called me. I would get in fucking court and stand up for my nigga if I need to, because it would be no different if it was you and me. I don't know. I think we're close enough right now. Like you're really my friend. So nigga, like I'll be calling Kristen and be like, yo, the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? Like again, we gonna go back and forth. Like yeah, read that shit and call me back, nigga. And you're gonna read it and you're gonna call me back and you're gonna be like, we're gonna do that. And it's like, what you think? Because now we're doing recall. And so that's not tampering. That's fucking recall because that bitch is lying.
Tampering.
That's how I felt. And you don't gotta say this.
You're calling Dawn.
We gotta be clear because we want to be clear about everybody. We want to make sure we're good. And I'm gonna fucking stand on business. I didn't see that.
And didn't I tell y'all she was calling Dawn a liar? Didn't I tell y'all that? She's basically calling Dawn a liar. To me, she is literally reiterating whatever it is that Diddy told her to say.
In every video you see us in, Dawn didn't look scared. Did you see her look scared to you? Look at the video. You just look at it. Look scared. I'm just saying, my friend looks scared. I'm like, the fuck wrong with you? The fuck going on with you, bitch?
Didn't you say she's weird?
If I look scared and I come here and I'm going through something with anybody and I don't look the same, your question to me was going to be, what the fuck going on with you? I didn't see that. What I saw was, what the fuck is going on with you? Because you acting weird. You're a weird bitch, is what I seen. And it's a list of niggas where y'all at. Talk about it.
So in 1 minute, you're saying she didn't look scared. If something was going on, you would be acting weird. And then she says you were acting weird, but it's because you was a weird ass bitch. What? Girl.
Weird motherfucker, man. She is. She's fucking weird, bro. And so, yeah, I ain't, trying to motherfucking go to jail and no shit. But y'all motherfucking call me to tell the truth. I'm finna motherfucking tell the truth. All of it. Because every fucking body was there and a part of this shit. Niggas was fucking niggas. Bitches was saying they like to fuck bitches. Everybody was there with the shit. And as conservative as I am, and I try to tell people, yeah, I used to date girls. I think women are the sexiest thing on the planet. I'm now married to a man and I'm dedicated to him, But if I had to choose, I would choose bitches. I say it all the time, but I think people get that twisted. Like, me and my husband be jumping the fuck off all the time. But that's not the case. We done jumped off a couple times, but that's my motherfucking business.
To me, it sounds like you don't even really want to be with that man. To me, it sounds like you don't even really want to be with that man. That's what it sounds like to me. Talking about I prefer, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
It's the truth. So I can go to Pornhub and I can go down to the fucking, categories to,
Absolutely.
husband watches
You,
wife
a
get
girlfriend.
banged by Mandingo. And I can pull up all of these things, but nobody's talking about that. And we sit there and we condemn our people, brothers and sisters, for truly being themselves. But you'll get by yourself in the bathroom with your baby oil and jerk your dick to your neighbor's wife getting banged by her stepfather. What the fuck kind of weird shit is that? So we have all of these like secret pleasures that we like to indulge in, but don't want to say it in the court of public opinion. When you do the fucking crime, do the time. I don't give a fuck what you like, long as it's not fucking children and my fucking dog. Because I got a thing about that, right? Because my uncle's a rapist, right? So I wasn't going to be around no fucking body that was bringing 13-year-olds. Talk about, they sexy. The fuck out of here. And I wasn't going to be around nobody that was beating nobody because I didn't like that because I was abused.
You're lying.
My mom hit me in my face on Mother's Day in the motherfucking ICU with my son sitting there, So I'm just saying, like, yo, we got to talk about the tough things and then be accountable. We got to be able to say, if I had $1 billion and I couldn't walk down the street alone.
No. And that's the thing right there. That right there, y'all. This always trying to get you to put yourself in the shoes of a fucking billionaire. Please stop. Most of us are never going to reach $1 billion. Don't put yourself in their shoes. You're not in their shoes. You're never going to be in their shoes. You're in the shoes of the people that they take advantage of. So stop trying to find ways to empathize with people that abuse you. That's crazy. And that's what she's doing right now.
And my kids need security. Like, how would I do things? Who do I go to have fun? Who are my friends? Who can I trust? Who really, gives a fuck about me? When Puff would give me my money, he would give us checks. Let me get money. I would always spend some money on him. I would always, go buy him a pair of sneakers or, some piece of art or something. Because I would want him to know, I appreciate what you're doing for me. You give it.
So please understand that you getting up here speaking on his behalf is only seen as lies and loyalty to him. That's all I see. Lies and loyalty. You literally telling me that a man who wasn't even paying you the amount of money he was supposed to be paying you, you took the money that he did give you and you bought him shit? Bitch, you're brainwashed. You're a pick-me. All of that talking about, I ain't gonna let nobody play me, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, you literally letting us know that you would do anything to be validated by these men. Using your own money to buy him gifts because you want him to know you care about him that much. Yeah, it's giving you a groomed. It's giving you a brainwashed. So we can't believe anything coming out your mouth for real, for real. But it just so happens that you are so unhinged, you letting your truth slip out. That's why I like to do shit like this, because you got to really listen to what people be saying.
Give me opportunity. And this opportunity can turn into something that could change me and my family's life, depending on how I perceive that. And I think a lot of us miss it. We miss the boat because we expect people to come in and change our life with this magic stick, and it don't happen like that.
How does it feel for you to sort of be the person or the reason why Diddy's bail gets denied?
I think it's fucked up because I think what we're not understanding is they don't understand Black people. They don't understand how we can communicate. We are very passionate people. And
oh, so now it's a Black thing, and the FBI doesn't have any Black people in it, I'm assuming. So the FBI, this bitch crazy. This bitch said they don't understand Black people, as if there are no Black FBI agents to understand that the way he's calling you and talking to you 56 times is witness tampering. Oh no, that's a Black people thing. We're passionate. Girl, get the fuck out of here.
One thing you got to know about any average Black woman, you're not pushing her to do shit she don't want to fucking do.
You're not?
So, motherfucker, you're not going to call me in the middle of the fucking night and be begging me or tell me what the fuck I'm going to do.
Really?
But what I am going to say is if you fucking name me in a fucking suit and say I was complicit and there, I'm fucking saying something. So you ain't got to worry about me not saying something. It's just what I got to say. So give me a second to think about what the fuck I'm saying. So I'm going to calm my emotions down. And I'm going to do it, but I got to do it my way. Because if I do it off of emotion, it's going to sound crazy. And I'm going there fire hot-headed. I'm going to be cussing. And I don't want to
She is basically reiterating her thought process when Diddy kept calling her. That's what she's doing right now. Reiterating. And what do you mean you're not gonna make a black woman do something she don't want to do? Black women do shit that they don't want to do every day. B, the fuck is you talking about? What are you talking about?
represent that woman anymore. I want to be a lot more methodical in my approach. Why? Because there are little girls watching me, and there are people that haven't seen me speak up and haven't seen me say anything, and I feel bad, and I want to write him. I want to see him. I want to tell him I love him. I want to tell him to keep his head up. If he did something wrong, talk to God. You know, it's gonna work out. And then I would tell him anything similar to what I would tell somebody else in trouble that shot fucking Pookie down the street. This nigga's running up on nigga and killing people. They dumping niggas' bodies in front of people's houses. And people's putting money on Pookie bail.
They're worried about baby oil.
And y'all worried about baby oil and this nigga fucking men. That was there. With they assholes tooted up. Looking for opportunity.
And I'm gonna tell y'all again. Keep going back to him fucking men and making it salacious so we can ignore the fact that what bodies, Kaleena? What bodies? Who you talking about? Who you talking about? You talking about somebody just hypothetically, or you talking about some shit that was actually taking place? But y'all worrying about the baby oil. Cause see, that's what I was saying. I was saying y'all talking about the wrong shit. It doesn't matter all this, oh, he a freak, he a freak. No. That's not the important part of the conversation. Okay? That's not the important part of the conversation. It's the GHB. It's the drugging. It's the assault. It's the unaliving of people.
What did Diddy do? What is?
I don't know. I'm confused.
You spoke to me about sort of like producers taking advantage.
Yeah.
I guess using a false sense of opportunity to get what they wanted.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I mean, just for instance, I don't know, when I was 18, like just getting in this industry, it's like you meet these talented young people and these men are spending like hours in the fucking studio, and not for nothing, I guess it's magical to meet somebody like really talented, but we be young, we be babies. And as soon as my dad left me alone with J. Little John, every opportunity he had to have sex with me, he did. Everyone. And I was little, like I was young. Like, I wasn't like doing all of that, but I didn't know how to respond to it. Like I didn't know how to stand up for myself and speak up and say, no, this is not what I want. I think most girls go through that, but I did.
But you don't understand why it took so long for other people to say shit?
Did make a decision in my head and say this will never happen again.
What would you call what happened to you?
I was taken advantage of. I was vampired for my energy, my body.
Really?
Really? I was molested. I was literally like, molestation is different from rape because molestation is kind of like it's a process. It's a grooming process. And so like the process for that was like, he could play really well. He was very talented. And though I was 18, he was grown. And like his thing was, he knew he was talented and he knew I was in all of that. And he knew I wanted to do music and do all of those things.
Like Cassie.
Because that was a carrot on his stick. He used that. But he also told me to be quiet because his mother was upstairs. And his brother was upstairs. Like, can you imagine like coming in the studio? There's a toilet on the ground. The mic is there to entice you to know that. But the whole session is him fucking you.
Like
we never did a song together.
Never did a song together.
No.
Like that.
And I guess what about all the women that enter the industry?
Yep, with dreams.
With dreams, searching for the opportunity.
Yep, willing to do anything for it.
Willing to do anything for it, and they just, as you bluntly put it, get fucked on a pallet on the floor.
Yes. And
go home.
Never happens. Yeah, because these people never tell you that they're just not, that they're like not even the middlemen. They're not even the runners. They are doing the same thing you're doing. They want to make it too. But because you're young and you're naive, and you're beautiful and you're unused and you're fresh.
The producers.
And it's just all of those vibes, along with this young woman trying to navigate her own sexuality and don't know how to say no. And a man knows that, and he takes advantage of that. Like, you're a kid still. I have my dad. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Ultimately. It wasn't like I was talking to him like sexually, like I was trying to get with him or anything like that. This was strictly like, you know how sexy you are. You know you're really dope. You know, like it was a grooming process.
Yeah.
Listen,
We call that in church
knowing
of
exactly what the fuck
prostituting your
takes place,
gifts.
but gonna sit up there and say it never
Using
happened.
what God gave you as a way to feed your sexual desires.
That's what he did.
And it's like the most common thing in the industry.
Yeah. It was always like songwriters trying to like put their fingers in your pussy and smell your pussy and like tell you like what kind of women they like and like.
But I got you with this record though, like
but let me smell your pussy. Like, what kind of panties do you wear? Do you wear thongs? You don't wear thongs? You shouldn't wear no panties. Like, these are men. The Maces, the everybody. Like, the everybody. Like,
not
everybody I've met
out there.
men like outside of my.
Not throwing Mace out there. Not her throwing Mace out there. Mind you, Mace was not a part of Bad Boy at the same time as she was. So I personally think, and somebody said it in the comments, Diddy told her to mention Mace in some way, shape, or form. That's how I feel. Because y'all know Mace been out here running his mouth. So Diddy don't like Mace right now at all. So to me, I'm definitely feeling like, girl, why would you throw Mace's name out there? And that's not to say that Mace didn't do shit like that, but she threw his name out there on purpose.
My husband protected me. Yeah.
And this was acceptable. This was the norm. This was the industry. This is how you get on.
It is the industry. Yes.
That's how you get on.
Yes.
So sort of like what's happening now is like that shift is happening. It's like, okay, no more of this. No more. Y'all better tighten up or you're getting canceled, thrown in jail, or sued.
I mean, I think everybody has to pay for any transgressions that are made. Sure. But I think the biggest part of this is cutting out this systemic monster that happens, like these couch conversations, these couch interviews that happen, and girls expecting that this is what they should do. What if I was a stripper and that's what I did? I didn't have sex for money, but I stripped. And then I wanted to be in the music industry. And then I have titties and I got ass and I'm sexy and I'm all of those things. And I go in the studio and I'm going to work. But then now a producer is going to take advantage of that because I used to be a stripper.
100%.
Yeah. And it's almost like some niggas feel like to make you sexier, it's like I gotta fuck you a certain way and I gotta tell you how sexy you are and tell you you're dope. Now hopefully I'm the nigga that can be like a T-Vic, but T-Vic didn't do it to me.
Right.
I want to make that very clear because I think a lot of niggas that meet T-Vic be like, oh, I wish I was you.
Yeah.
Like you came up, but T-Vic didn't do me like that.
Right. Oh man, this is what's happening in this climate, in the culture, in the industry.
It's a cold shift.
The things that worked in the past ain't working no more.
No.
And if you did it in the past,
you are now being held accountable for it. What happens in the dark comes to light. That's what grandma would say. My grandma Bunchy would say that all the time.
And though it was wrong in the past, it was acceptable.
Yeah, it was the hierarchy was misogynistic. It was more male.
Right.
So it was a patriarchy, and now it's a little bit matriarchal. It's like we are now coming into a forefront where women. I just want us to be accountable for the things that we do. I don't want to be the kind of woman in this movement to say, well, I was victimized. I know when I wanted to fuck somebody, like they knew it too. And it was very evident. Like I'm not scared to do that, but I knew when I didn't like somebody and I was being taken advantage of.
What's your favorite memory with Puff?
Probably, I have a lot of them. I think one specific was when I knew we were getting real close. And he was just telling me about like him growing up and learning how to navigate the industry himself and just getting $200,000 a night to do walkthroughs, which was a lot of money he was saying for him, and how he was like taking care of a lot of people. You bring that money home and like you don't care about what you're doing with your money at that time. You're young, you put it in top drawer, keep it moving, but you're doing it a lot. And so like just the party scene at night, being out 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, get home at 6, the sun's coming up, you're tired, you're not counting your money. And he was just like, he had a nanny for like 15 years. And he just thought, like, how much money am I losing? Like,
he asked her, what is her favorite memory of Diddy? Meaning, what was a time you and Diddy had together that you really enjoyed? She's now about to explain to you how Diddy found out that his nanny was stealing from him. So that's a way for you to see Diddy as somebody that people are always stealing from. So then you could understand why he's abusive and controlling because people are trying to steal from him. Bullshit. Diddy wasn't paying people. That's why people stole from him. The fuck?
My money? You go back, you don't count it, but you're like, count it. I'm missing some money. So he put a nanny cam in his house and he called his nanny stealing. So can you imagine like being stolen from somebody you trust for 15 years? And so then that kind of piggybacks to me telling you like people wearing his clothes and his jewelry. I mean, and then it happened to me because I want to be like Puff, and then I go back home and I'm like hiring assistants and people, and I'm thinking like I'm not thinking about the actual executive functions of hiring people, how to hire them in a term.
You want to be like Puff. So remember her relationship with Ashley, the girl from Love and Hip Hop, and how she did her. And then the relationship with Tony. You can't be like a man. You can't, bitch, because you're a woman. You can try. Mary J. Blige. But essentially, you still gonna get treated how the rest of these bitches get treated. No matter how you try to pedestalize yourself and put yourself higher in the hierarchy because you want to be like him. You don't want to be like the bitches. You want to be like him. So you think that that's gonna save you. It's not.
Shippers or anything like that. I'm just fucking hiring people and giving opportunity. And motherfuckers are stealing from me. Rolexes are missing. I don't have those things anymore because somebody had them and they're gone.
Worst memory?
In general?
Sort of with Dirty Money, with, you know, the success.
With Diddy. What is your worst
what's
memory with Diddy, bitch?
I don't have one. Not a worst memory. It was one of the best times of my life.
Oh,
Despite,
you don't have one.
You know, me and Dawn not always getting along. And despite me and Puff not always getting along. Because we argue like cats and dogs.
So y'all argued a lot,
No,
but you don't have any bad memories.
But
okay.
I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change anything. Not one fucking thing. It was
That's
fucking
crazy.
dope as fuck. Like, I wouldn't change the fireworks. I wouldn't change the fucking Vogue shoots. I wouldn't change the private jet flights. I wouldn't change fucking nothing.
That's wild.
Any music?
You have nothing now.
Hell yeah. We about to drop. Rosewater is a big project that I've been working on for years. Puff's been working with me. Mad People's been working with me with this project. But,
so he's been working with you on this project that you're working on.
Why, nigga?
Why he still had?
Come on, we gotta, you know.
What you mean? You gotta hear.
You ain't give me nothing.
What do you mean?
Can you let me talk?
You see? Y'all see how you do me though?
You haven't given me anything this whole interview. Could we get something before we go?
And I was like, nigga, listen. Hey, listen, check it out. I'm about to drop the single, and it really speaks to this whole fucking thing. And I ain't even gonna sing it pretty right now because you got me here super late. But you know, it's just like, just go with it. Just go with it. We don't have to think about nothing. Just go with it. Oh, just go with it. Just go with it. We don't have to worry about nothing. Crazy beat. Crazy ass verse. Go tell me what you used to. I used to watching movies off of YouTube. I'm down with it. Whatever you cool with. Tell me stories about the old school. Tell me how you used to flip work and breakthroughs. I'm down with it. Whatever you cool with. You know, it's just like a little conversation. The track is crazy. And it just like, I'm just a cool ass nigga. I just want to chill, man. I don't want nobody.
So talented. So talented, y'all. Even you can hear her vibrato, like, but mine is warped. Do you hear me? Warped.
Hurt. I want everybody to love each other, but we know that's not the reality. But I would like to see Nirvana, this new heaven, this new earth that we move into. Motherfuckers could be themselves. Motherfuckers could be protected. Motherfuckers ain't getting taken advantage of. Like, you can leave your money around. Motherfuckers ain't taking your money. Everything is like the way it's supposed to be. And like, that's how I dream of like being. And this has just really shocked me to my core because I feel like, as real as I am, I have an antenna for bullshit. And I just really believe that good people can do bad things, but we are not to judge those things. Like, we can't judge like the entirety of the person on what they've done in the past, because they could have immensely grown. And I think that's a huge thing. And
so again, more apologies for him admitting that he could have done bad things, but he's a good person, right? Look at you. Like, really, like, look at her, man. Like, the fact that you will make apologies for him and not even seeing what he took from you is insane.
I would have clocked the bullshit.
Strapping Anonymous. My name is Chris Styles. Let's get it.
And my name is Kaleena, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's that. So basically, she made to me, if I'm paying attention, you just validated everything. You validated everything. You are the girl who was at the freak offs, who was probably enjoying some of that shit. You probably didn't enjoy some things and were happy that they put a certain type of drug in your drink so that you couldn't really remember. Very much like the assistant from Blink Twice. There are people that don't want to remember, that don't want to admit to themselves what happened to them, because then they would have to be re-victimized, and they don't want to be victimized. So they don't want to be honest about what happened to them. And that means fighting against Dawn, seeing Dawn as the problem, seeing Cassie as the problem, instead of seeing Diddy as the problem. That's the thing I saw this entire interview. Even her talking about her husband. She talked so well about the husband at the beginning of the interview, all for her to tell us that he was beating her ass and cheating on her and having babies outside of the relationship. He sounds like your pimp. He sounds like your pimp. And I will never forget when he told her nobody cared about her music on Love and Hip Hop. Don't nobody care about your music. For a man to tell you that, when the only reason we know of y'all is because of your music, he was always trying to control and break you, and you let him. It's crazy to me. You think you're strong, but you really weak as fuck. Because the strong ones are the ones that speak up and say, this is what happened to me. And they don't bullshit and lie and try to protect their abusers any longer once they've seen the remnants of it. Once you've seen how many people have been victimized and you still get up here and talk that shit, it's because you're still on drugs. You're still being controlled by these men in your life. Even with all of these talents that she has, sitting up there talking about what she would have done. Yet you still working with Diddy. Diddy was working with you on his last album. Word, bitch. And yes, what do I tell y'all about the lesbians that can't live in their truth? Now, you can go and fuck women, but actually being in relationships with them and not being attached to a man, different. It's different. But yeah, she been brainwashed, y'all. And listen, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When we get to the Mary J. Blige of it all, y'all love Mary J. Blige. I do. But Mary J. Blige thinking that she's gonna be able to remain unscathed in this situation is starting to work on my nerves. Because she's come, she got an album, she got a song. We seeing Mary, but Mary ain't talking. And Mary's talking, but Mary's not talking about any of this. And I think that it's weird. I feel like we've always thought that Mary J. Blige gave lesbian tease. There were rumors that she was also fucking that girl who her husband was cheating on her with, who was her protege. There were rumors that she was fucking with that girl too. So yeah, I don't know what's going on out there, but I know that, it's a lot of people that feel a lot of shame and guilt about being homosexual. And instead of being honest about who they are and accepting it for what it is, they choose to pretend to be something else while doing other things in the dark. And what comes along with that is being victimized and victimizing other people. That's why I refuse to see anything wrong with people being gay. Because at the end of the day, you can't put darkness and shadow over something when somebody said, no, bitch, I'm in the light. I am in the light. You can't put no shadow over this. But see, when they want to lie and keep it all secret and everything, man, let me tell y'all something. If y'all think Mary ain't involved, if y'all think Mary ain't had no past, you lying to yourself. You lying to yourself. Let's not forget, Mary spent a great part of her career on drugs. She also fell out with Diddy and stayed away from him for a long time until recently. Until recently. She was mad at him and not talking to him for a minute. Yep, Faith Evans too. I'm just saying, y'all got to pay attention.